Okay, people of God, lovers of freedom, children of Chukwu Kikabiama, fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I highly welcome you to our channel once again this wonderful day, being the 25th of August 2025. This is Nelly's TV, as you know, and here we bring you news and news analysis, history and history analysis that you can use to enlighten yourself. And for our subscribers and other visitors and those who engage us in one way or the other, I say thank you very much for your contributions. You are the reason we are still here. And your activities are part of the things that help us to continue to bring our services to you and our fellow Biafrans. Thank you very much for doing so. And for those who have not subscribed to our channel, please, we crave your indulgence to consider doing so in order to encourage us to do more. So we are here for you. We are here to give you the news that you need and the analysis that go with it to enlighten you as much as you need. Okay. So today is another day, and we are going to bring you more about this contraption called Nigeria. The reason it should be dismantled, it should be unbundled for everybody to go their separate ways and save lives as quickly as possible, because terrible things are happening in that contraption on a daily basis and ignorant people don't know about it. So if you see anybody supporting the continuous existence of Nigeria, that person is highly ignorant and is being used by the real criminals who benefit from Nigeria. It is only criminals that benefit from Nigeria, criminals like politicians and the law enforcement agents. These are the people that benefit from Nigeria. Another set of people that benefit from Nigeria are top, very high-level businessmen, and these people depend on the politicians and the law enforcement agents to do their evil and make their illicit money from that contraption. So that's why they keep singing that Nigeria should continue to exist. But for you, the ordinary person, and mostly if you are from the Igbo extraction or Biafra, then you have to think twice when you listen to these people speak, because they are not speaking your mind. They are not speaking for you. They don't have your interest at heart. They only have the interest of themselves and their families and their businesses at heart. How they can amass more wealth, even at the detriment of your life, even when it means you and your family and your entire generation being cleared out by the terrorists whom they sponsor, because they make money from the activities of these terrorists. So we will not continue like that. And that's why we are always here trying to lend our voices to the international community and the world at large to know that evil is going on in Nigeria on a daily basis. Just a few days ago, Canada raised an alarm, designating APC and PDP as terrorist organizations, which of course they are. They are terrorist organizations. And the court that designated this gave its reasons. There were evidence, there were lots of evidence before the court, which of course the judge read out. And those things are undeniable. Because, for instance, talking about electoral violence, in the last election of 2023, we saw how violence was everywhere. It was ridden by violence. And in fact, the international community, international observers said that what they experienced was not election, but a war scene. War scene. That was what happened in Nigeria. Yet the election held, and the people who won. Till today, Tinubu is still the president, despite all the criminal activities he and his cronies committed in that election. That is why Nigeria has no respect in the international community. All right. So, and this time around, as if that is not enough, just a few days again later, US raised its own concern, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. Look at the news published on Vanguard. It says, US report raises concerns over security. 1. Justice. 2. In Nigeria. So This time around, not only the outright insecurity perpetrated by the criminals and the terrorists the politicians sponsor and support and protect, not only that, the other one is the justice system, which of course is a legal way of enthroning evil in the society. So the judiciary of Nigeria is a very, very useless um, agency. Very useless. It is, I mean, there is no justice in Nigeria, as all of us know. It is only those who don't want to say the truth that will tell you that, hey, no, forget it, there is justice and all that, because they benefit from the system. We're going to be seeing some of the details. We're not going to be reading everything completely anyway. So look at what the report further says. It says justice system hampered by corruption and delays. So when there are delays in justice system, delay of course is denial, because if you delay a case, like in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been in detention, illegal detention of the DSS since 2021. I mean, how do you just explain that? You are saying, let him wait, let the court decide. Court has decided how many times? Yet they have not released him. They keep delaying justice again, and this is 6 good years, 5 good years he has been in detention. All right. So delay is also denial, because they have denied this young man his right, freedom of movement for 5 whole years. That is evil. These are some of the things that US condemned. It says US cites arbitrary detention. You see, when the police will just barge into a community or village or house and arrest people indiscriminately and detain. Arbitrary detention, file losses. They claim that the case file has gone missing. File losses in Nigerian courts. These are the evils they saw and that made them to raise their alarm. Deutsche Welle has this to say in summary. The US has raised concerns over security and justice in Nigeria, citing enforced disappearances. This is what has been happening in the southeastern part of Nigeria almost on daily or weekly basis. These criminals called police, DSS, and the rest of them will just bash into a village and begin to arrest people, youths, indiscriminately and disappear them. They don't take them to court, they don't charge them with anything, nothing happens, and the people just disappear. You ask for your relatives, you don't see them. So what type of society functions like that? What type of country functions like this? And you expect the people of that extraction to remain happy with the country? That is why the youth of Southeast are not happy with Nigeria and they want to break out of Nigeria. It is normal. If the society you are staying in does not welcome you anymore, then you leave. But the problem is that when people say they want to break out of Nigeria, Nigeria goes against them and begins to clamp down on them. So what do you want from these people? You don't want them to stay peacefully. You don't also want them to leave. That is witchcraft. And that is evil. And that is why we Biafrans have made up our minds to force our ways out of Nigeria. And we must force ourselves out of that contraption. It is evil. It is an evil enclave. They say that is citing enforced disappearances, arbitrary detentions, again, and prolonged pre-trial periods. Like in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that man should be released. He has done nothing wrong. In the latest human rights report released by the State Department, the US referenced Amnesty International's claim that the fate of dozens of young men detained at the SARS Okozo. SARS Okozo is in Anambra State, Southeast. That's what I was saying. Southeast, the evil there committed by the state actors, talking about police, DSS, army, and the rest of them, is beyond measure. It is way above the skies. Since the unit's disbandment in 2020 remains unknown, dozens of young men detained at the SARS Okozo facility in Anambra State since the unit's disbandment in 2020 remains unknown. This unit has been disbanded since 2020, but they still have, the young men they forced into their unit, into their facility before the disbandment still remains unknown. Where are these people? Why would you just capture people and disappear them like that? So it goes ahead to say, noting that security forces often carry out arrests without warrants. In which other country does this happen? In response, presidential spokesman Sunday Dare has said the judiciary is addressing pre-trial delays and related issues. Not so. Is it today we started hearing it? Addressing, how long will it take you to address it? Why are you still delaying the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu if you are addressing the issue? So look at the executive summary of the report of the U.S. Look at it, U.S. Department of State. This is the very report from where the news broke out. 2024 country reports on human rights practices. That is Nigeria's case, is this one. And it says in the executive summary, there were no significant changes in human rights situation in Nigeria during the year. No significant changes, which means the situation remains even worse or the same relatively. He says significant human rights issues included credible reports of arbitrary and unlawful killings, disappearances, torture, or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Can you imagine? This is what the state actors, police, DSS, army, and all arm-carrying agencies of the government of the so-called Nigeria is doing to its citizens. Why? What is the crime of your citizens that you are carrying out all these unlawful activities on them? And he goes ahead, arbitrary arrest or detention, serious abuses in a conflict, serious restrictions on freedom of expression, on media freedom and media freedom, including violence or threats of violence against journalists. You see that? Violence or threats against labor activists or union members, and significant presence of any of the worst forms of child labor. These are the things that happen in Nigeria. The government sometimes took steps to investigate alleged human rights abuses by officials, but prosecution and punishment for such abuses was rare. Note that. Okay? They will just come out and do, hey, we are prosecuting, we are looking into this case, and at the end of the day, they do nothing. And tomorrow, another police or soldier or whatever will go out and do the same thing. It is still ongoing as I speak to you today in the southeast. Go to Imo State, Owerri, the place called Tiger Base in Owerri. It is an abattoir. It is a killer place. It is a slaughterhouse. They eliminate people indiscriminately in that place. And the Hope Uzodinma, who claims to be the governor, is saying nothing because that is his handwork. All right. So what did the youth of these people, of these places, what offense did they commit against the country to be receiving this kind of evil treatment from the government and the law enforcement agents? So this is why we are here telling the world that evil is going on in Nigeria, and it is really badly against Southeasterners who are called the Biafrans. And that is why the Biafrans are opting out of Nigeria, and everybody should talk about it. Let this part of Nigeria break away because Nigeria hates them as it stands. And the hatred didn't start today. It's an age-long thing, and we cannot continue to shy away from it. So we are opting out of Nigeria, and that is what everybody should be talking about. All right. Now, as if that was not enough, Musa, who happens to be the chief defense staff of the contraption called Nigeria, came out to say one or two things at an interview with Shehu of Channels TV. These are some of the things he said. A lot of people think we, the military, are magicians. We are not. We are humans. just like anybody. Some terrains are absolutely unpassable. Chief of the Defense Staff, Christopher Musa. So Musa is now willing that they are not magicians. But this is the same person who said that they are working towards bringing peace. They are bringing peace, they are fighting terrorists according to him, but he's telling us today that they are not magicians, that they are ordinary human beings. So, Musa, what are you telling us? Are you tired? Are you telling us that everybody should go to his tent and look for a way to defend himself? Of course, the Director General of DSS has already said it point blank in one of his presentations that people should defend themselves, communities should defend themselves, that they cannot defend everybody. But the annoying thing is that if you come out to defend yourselves, like the way Biafra is defending its territory through the Biafra Defense Forces, they will come after you. That is when you see the strength of this idiot you see here called Musa. He will unleash all his terrorists in uniform to go after such people. So you are not a magician, you cannot protect people, and the people want to protect themselves, and you are going after the people that are protecting themselves. What are you doing? This same thing is happening even in the north. It happened in Benue the other day when the Benue youths wanted to defend themselves. It happened in Plateau when Plateau people wanted to defend themselves against Fulani. So all these people are doing, all what they are doing is to give Fulani an edge to continue to attack innocent people. That is to tell you that there is a plan geared towards, taking over your community and handing it over to Fulani. So if you are from Biafra and you are still thinking in your mind that Nigeria will someday get better for you, you are dreaming. You are dreaming like a malaria patient. The best thing for you to do now is to fund your freedom. Biafra Republic Government in Exile is doing that for you, is doing the work for you through the cabinet members who are speaking for you at the international community and the Biafra Defense Forces who are fighting for you at the war front back home. Your own is to support financially, and that you can do anytime, any day. If you come to our channel, we show you how. If you come on Saturday here, we show you how to fund your freedom. You must be free. Otherwise, you will be a victim one day. It doesn't matter whether you like Biafra agitation or not. Because when these people invade your community like the way they have been invading, one day you will become a victim or your family members will become a victim. Okay, so you better be intelligent now. So look at what Musa continued to say. He said that DSS, National Intelligence Agency, tracking politicians who are financing terrorism. That is what this idiot is saying. You are still tracking for how many years now? When did terrorism start ravaging Nigeria that you are still tracking? And you have not seen these people. This man here is called Ali Modu Sherif. He is um, a former governor of Borno State. There are allegations that he is one of the founders of Boko Haram. Look at what he said. He said, Governor Shetima created and funded Boko Haram, not me, Ali Modu Sherif. So Ali Modu Sherif, in trying to defend himself, said that Governor Shetima created and funded Boko Haram. These are politicians attacking themselves. And in this attack, there must be truth in it because they know what they do in the hiding, in the secret. Now, who is this Shetima he's referring to here? This Shetima he's referring to here is the present Vice President of Nigeria. He said, Ali Modu Sherif said that Shetima created and funded Boko Haram. And today, he is the Vice President of Nigeria. What does that tell you? It means that all these people are the ones funding and sponsoring and supporting and protecting Boko Haram and other terrorists that operate in Nigeria. And then they come out to tell you that they are fighting terrorism. And you are believing them as an ordinary people. You don't know that it's a time for you to pack your loads and leave that contraption, that it has expired. It has been handed over to terrorists, and it's only a matter of time, and they will take over your community. If you are intelligent, that's what you should be doing now. And I would like to tell people who, because look at what U.S. mission in Nigeria, that is U.S. embassy in Nigeria, published a few days ago. It says, "We commend the Nigerian government and security forces on the successful arrest of wanted Ansaru leaders, Mahmoud Muhammad Usman, aka Abu Bara, and Mahmoud Nigeri, aka Malam Mahmuda. This is a significant forward in Nigeria's fight against terrorism and extremism." You see, sometimes these people, this international community, I don't know whether they are just trying to play. I don't know how to present it. They're just trying to play along as if they don't know the truth. Okay, they are just pretending to congratulate Nigeria. Why are you congratulating Nigeria? Because they posted the photo of two persons and told you they have captured them. And it was Bayo Onanuga that presented the stuff and said that Nigeria dismantles terror groups. How can you dismantle terror groups just by arresting their two leaders? You know, Nigeria says it killed Shekau, the then leader of Boko Haram. Has Boko Haram stopped operating? They still operate. And I can tell you point blank that these guys whose pictures are here, the so-called arrest is just an arrangement. They are just trying to use this arrangement to press home their demand for US to sell arms to Nigeria. But when US sells that arm to Nigeria, they are not going to use it to continue to stop terrorism. They will bring it to Southeast to eliminate Igbo use, innocent Igbo use. That's what they do, and that's what they have been doing with the Tucano jet they bought from US the other time. So they just arrange this thing. This is an arranging. They will soon release these guys back and tell you stories. And that time, nobody will hear the news again. Okay? Let me show you something now. Look at, this is one of those RNG rubbish they do sometimes. Boko Haram leader Bakura denies report of his death because this Bakura, according to a news report, the Bakura was eliminated in a military operation. Look at it. Boko Haram commander Ibrahim Bakura Doro, also known as Abu Aumaima, has denied claims by the Nigerian government that he was eliminated during recent military operations in the Difa region. So sometimes they do these things and they tell you that this person has been eliminated. But the guy came out to say that, hey, nothing happened, I'm still alive. So US that quickly comes out to congratulate Nigeria should watch it, because these guys are in very safe hands. Nothing is happening to them and nothing will happen to them. Their masters are in Aso Rock and other government houses. Okay, that is the rubbish that goes on. So now even people who were hitherto supporting Nigeria and supporting insecurity architecture have started talking. We already know about Danjuma, that is many years ago, but the one that interests me is this man. This is Tukur Buratai. He is former chief of army staff, the one that led operations that sent people to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house to go and massacre him and eliminate him. That is Buratai. All right. Buratai says that insecurity issues are essentially political, and now it's been left for the military, and the political actors are staying behind. So Buratai knew all these things. Yet, he was claiming to us that he was fighting insecurity. Today, he's saying the truth because he has left the service. All right? That is the evil that goes on in Nigeria. None of these people wants to say the truth. They don't want. They don't want to say the truth. Okay, now, the same Musa continues to lament. Musa says here, Nigerian judges letting terrorists have things easy, risking soldiers' lives. Defense chief. That is the same Musa, defense chief. Look at the terrorists. They will just capture them and then take them to a camp and feed them fat for some weeks and then take them into Nigerian police, army, and everywhere send some of them to school, even send some of them abroad. Something I have never seen happen anywhere else in the world is happening in Nigeria. And they call them what? Look at the name they call them: repentant terrorists. These people will come back into the society and continue to carry out their nefarious activities. So Musa is now saying that judges, which means courts, are letting terrorists have things easy because they always release the terrorists without passing very harsh sanctions on them. All right. And the people will come back and continue to fight the security agents. The problem now is that you can't even differentiate between terrorists and security agents because this time around they behave alike. They eliminate people anyhow they like. All right. And the terrorists also wear army uniforms. And the army do not attack the terrorists when they see them. Instead, they give them way to operate and eliminate the ordinary people. So the people at the center of the whole misfortune now are the ordinary citizens who have done nothing wrong other than accepting to be Nigerians. So if being a Nigerian has become a curse as it is today, what are you still doing there trying to defend a cursed place? Trying to defend a very wicked and vicious enclave. Nigeria is not a country, and the earlier we accept this truth, the better for us. So I just say to come and let us see what is going on recently, where Musa is also accepting the fact that even the Nigerian institutions are not also helping matters. Yet he is claiming to us that he's fighting insecurity to protect you, but he has very serious handicap. Why will you continue to depend on such a security system that promises you nothing other than other than failure? That hey, we have failed because of this. Hey, we cannot perform because of that. That's what they keep singing to you, and you think that tomorrow anything will change about it. Come and support your freedom. Come and donate for your freedom. If you don't leave Nigeria, Nigeria will finish you and your family tomorrow. There is nothing like God forbid, because those who have gone, who have lost their lives, God was on the throne when it happened, and you are not more righteous than they are. So it's just a matter of time, and it will get to you and take your own lives. So you better be wise now and play the wise game now, which is looking for a way to opt out of Nigeria. Nigeria is a death trap. It is an abattoir. It is a slaughterhouse. It is a very wicked enclave created by Britain to continue to subdue and suppress you as an Igbo person, as a Biafran, as an African. So you have to make the move to leave that contraption. Otherwise, you might just become the next victim. So they say that the word is enough for the wise. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you taking the right action for you, your family, and your generations yet unborn. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day. Bye for now.